War. War never changes.
Okay. I have no idea what we're doing, because I took a little bit of a break. I say break. Anybody who thinks sitting and playing a fun game for an hour deserves a break, unless you're some kind of crazy health and safety person who has some kind of, you know, issue where they can't do anything for certain amounts of time without exercising or eating or whatever. Like, doesn't Hideo Kojima have some kind of sensitivity issue where he actually can't play video games for longer than like 20 minutes because he gets nauseous? So there's this massive ironic thing of, is that guy alive? He makes these amazing video games, but he actually can't play them for longer than certain periods of times because, you know, they affect his body. Like, unless you're one of those people, I think it's just kind of crazy. You know, especially when you say you're doing a marathon. A marathon is not meant to be easy. It's also not something that you can take shortcuts from, because it's a fucking marathon. Anybody who has a break every hour during a marathon is not on a marathon. This guy's alive as well. Like, even a break every 3 hours isn't a marathon. Like, it needs to be, you're going to piss or shit, and if you're not doing those things, and you've eaten, you're on it. And even the eating thing, like, you should have prepared food that you could consume while you are doing the thing you said you would do. That to me is a marathon. Like, I've done like an 11-hour stream where the only times I wasn't at the stream was when I was taking a piss and making a coffee. And that was literally less than a minute. And is it tiring? Hell yes. But that's the point. I'm stuck here, by the way. I'm absolutely 100% stuck, and I don't think she's helping. Cannot jump. Cannot move. Yeah, I'm gonna have to warp here again. Oh, I'm carrying too much shit. Okay, great. Can I give you something, seeing as how you stuck up my ass, cock blocking me in? Probably not. She's probably full and all. And again, oh, she can't have missile launchers, but maybe she can have. Nah, she's full. Okay. That weighs 9. No. I keep trying to do basic inventory things when I'm in the trading menu, and the game doesn't like that. Excuse me.
Hey.
What is it?
Can you pick some of this shit up, please?
Take that weapon.
Will do. That's out of me reach.
Over here.
I'm on it, Captain.
She's stuck as well, it seems.
Someone there.
Grab that.
Run in. And how exactly am I supposed to get there, genius?
Yeah, we're both stuck because of her or something. Oh, she got it. Now it's saved me into my happy paralysis. Wonderful. Wow, this is miles away. No worries. Then again, I do really need to sell a lot of stuff, so I should have probably gone and got rid of things. Which is what I'm going to do, actually, guys. Go back to Sanctuary. As I was saying, though, breaks are a funny thing, aren't they? You know, when you bear in mind that gaming recreationally is something that somebody chooses to do in between working normally, in between other obligations, so to them it kind of is a break. You know, it symbolises a pastime as something you do when you're relaxing or what have you. So the notion of taking a break from it almost implies that you're perhaps doing it to an extent that isn't quite natural or isn't the way that it's done by many. And I don't really see many people doing gaming sessions that are any way different to what anyone else could or could not do. You know, I don't see people literally torturing themselves to do things. Like some of the guides I've made are infinitely worse than anything people do on a day-to-day basis, generally, when it comes to video games. And even then, I wouldn't count what I did as, you know, that higher than the average gamer, because there are times when people want to do things and challenge themselves and do crazy shit, and they just kind of do it. You know? There's always someone who's done it. That's what you've got to think. Like, none of us are unique, none of us are the first, none of us are pioneers, because it's all been done before.
I want to trade a few things.
Of course.
Until that new thing. And then maybe it hasn't. So, is this... This is trade, this is not barter. We want barter. Barter's the one where it involves two people interacting. Trade is just, I get to rob you for free, and it doesn't make a lot of sense. So she's got 200 caps, and I'm not going to mess with my outfits, because I don't really want a lot for this, I just want it off me. Right. Get rid of that, get rid of that. Get rid of them, because I'm not using them. Need the formals. I really want to try that on. Look at that, it's got 2 look on it. It's pretty cool. But my break was literally checking a bit of YouTube and going to make a coffee, and then I ended up checking some emails, and that's what derailed me a little bit. But my short-term memory's crappy anyway, so it didn't derail much. I've got a lot of junk. I don't even have that much junk.
Why bother with that? You opening a museum or something?
I don't know. Why was I so heavy and you're not, woman? Store all junk. Oh, I remember the name of that cannon, by the way. It's called the Broadsider. I saw it on a loading screen, so I might actually still have it. I just somehow managed to miss it by just staring like an idiot, because I'm really good at doing that. Couldn't even tell you why, I just kind of do. In fact, let's see if we can get it. So I don't know if he'll start with a T or a B. I assume it's the Broadsider. But as you can see, guys, there is no the Broadsider there. So I've either given it to a companion who I forgot about, or I sold it somehow, which doesn't even make sense to me, because why would I do that? And I've done some dumb things in playthroughs numerous times. You know, I'm going to do plenty more dumb things in playthroughs, but selling a unique weapon that I actually want to use just doesn't sound like something I would do. But I'm sure people will tell me in the playthrough exactly what I did, because we've kind of got a documented history of how that worked, and if it happened off camera, then it'll be a mystery that will be with us for some time, but as it stands, just really strange. Hound, some ribeye. Got a lot of good meats. Nice. I'm happy with that. But it makes me wonder, like, if you're doing a marathon or something, gaming-wise, there are only certain things I can think of that would warrant any kind of breaks / limitations to what you can do. And it would almost 100% have to be physical or incredibly taxing.
Heads up.
And I don't really know what is taxing when it's not physical, because of course it's going to put strain on you, because it just kind of does. That's how it works. Like, I'm trying to think of something that was exhausting to play. And I honestly... I can't think of anything. You know, one of those things where you feel physically drained. Like, some people felt that... what's it called? The Last of Us was this really super draining game because it was really dark and depressing, and it never got happy. It was consistently the same tone, and the tone was down-tempo to the degree.
I just want to trade a few things.
But I never felt that when I played it. Like, I felt the gameplay was fun. I really liked it. I liked the story. I liked everything about that game, and I never came away from The Last of Us thinking, oh my god, society's fucked, what's the point, you know, the future's a terrible place. I never get into that aspect. But I suppose there's people who really do, and they're the ones that did. Like, I've mentioned this before, but my girlfriend is one of those people who has to be in a specific mood to watch a specific type of film. To me, that makes no sense. I don't get that at all. Like, I can watch Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and then Schindler's List in a row, and it will not affect my mood at all, because they're two different kind of films, and I watch those two different types of films for different reasons. You know, it's just not something that's ever really affected me that way. Yet, last night was a great example. We were looking through the movie selection on Sky, which, if it's not Universal, it's a satellite service that gives you movies and sports and everything. I'm sure there's an equivalent everywhere in the planet, I would hope. Although I think Sky's fucking shit and I hate them, but then I've got a negative opinion about a lot of things, so, you know, it's just par for the course, really. But we were flicking through some movies, and I was looking for Gremlins, because my girlfriend is in her 20s, and she has never seen Gremlins or Gremlins 2. But the first Gremlins, is it Christmassy themed? So she didn't want to watch it, because apparently you can't watch Christmas films until after her birthday, which is not a standard idea to, because I once spent like 4 months watching Die Hard 3 times a day. You know, it was a weird time, but I loved every moment of it, because that film's amazing. Sure. But technically it's a Christmas film. So I was looking for Gremlins, and I couldn't find it. Because we saw it like an hour into it, and I was looking for a way to, you know, to do the catch-up or the type deal. All the things you can do on modern TVs now with TiVo and everything, and I was trying to do all that bullshit, and it wasn't working. And it was just like, you know, we can't watch it, fuck it. I'll just get it downloaded or something or whatever, and we'll watch it on my PC. So I'm looking through the movies, and I see The Gladiator, or Gladiator as it's called. 2000 epic, Ridley Scott, Russell Crowe. Really good film. Haven't seen it in a while. Really want to watch it. So I go to put it on, and my girlfriend's like, oh, it's... And I'm like, what? You don't want to watch Gladiator? And then her answer was, it's really long. Like, Gladiator's about 2 hours and 20 minutes long. 2 hours 30, which is a pretty long film. But it's not that long. It's not the original fucking Solaris. Like, it's not the longest thing. And I'm just like, okay. And she really didn't want me to put it on. So I said to her, I'm going to pop it on and watch to a part I really want to see, and then we'll turn it over. And the part was when the people are trying to arrest him, and the guy's sword gets frozen in his sheath, because I think that scene's really cool. So I wanted to watch up to that moment. And then after that, she ended up getting invested in it, and we watched a little bit more than she thought she was going to watch, and she got into it. But up until that point, it's like, how can you not want to watch Gladiator? You don't... It's not that you dislike it, it's that you think it's long. And it is long. Like, you know, you don't sit down to a Lord of the Ring and think it's going to be over in 10 minutes. Yet my girlfriend is one of those people who can sit and watch 9 episodes of Red is the New Black, or sorry, Orange is the New Black, in a row. That lasts an entire day. And those episodes are an hour long each. So she's just wasted 9 hours on a TV show, and she doesn't bat an eyelid, because she's cool with it. And I'm not, you know, judging her or mocking her or anything. I just find it really bizarre that she sees a 2 hour film. She's like, oh, but it's long. Yet she can watch these TV shows for ridiculous amounts of times. And it's all to do with the lightness of the viewing, I think. I think she looks at a film that's, shall we say, quote, serious, as a tougher watch. And I don't get that. I've never got that. To me, I look at a film as an adventure. And if it's an adventure I've took before, I'm more than willing to watch it again, because I love rewatching films and seeing something new. Like, but I just thought it was really strange and really interesting, and I would prefer her to be like, I don't want to watch it because I don't like it, or something like that. But when people say things like it's long, or I'm not in the mood, or that kind of stuff, I just kind of go, what the fuck does that even mean? What kind of answer is that? Because I find that really strange. And I can completely understand not being in the mood for something, but movies is just not one of them. Never had that issue with movies. I'm always in the mood, unless I've recently watched it. Like, you know, you go to a friend's house, and they haven't seen a film, and you have, and you watched it a week ago or something. I would like to do things with my friends that didn't involve watching a film I've already seen. But, you know, you take a bullet for your friends, and you watch it, because that's what you do. That I can understand. Like, I once went to the cinema with my friends. We were going to see a film. It turns out it wasn't on, and then both of them wanted to see a film I'd seen at the cinema earlier that week. So I ended up watching a film again at the cinema. And I wasn't happy, but I'm a good friend, so, you know, you man up. And that was when they were cheaper, so I didn't mind as much. Oh, weird. So, let's get back to what we were doing, guys. Sorry for that detour. Sorry for that tangent of just whatever hell we just discussed. And let's get on with this. But breaks from video gaming. If you read the inside booklet that's now become this dying of all these things that can kill you while you play video game thing. Tells you that you should never look at the screen for longer than half a second. You should be in a well-lit room at least 2.5 kilometers away from the screen. You know, wearing a life preserver and a condom. It's ridiculous. It's telling you all these things that I don't know anybody that does it. And I'm not saying that they're not right and that it probably helps you, but my eyes are going to start turning to shit as I get older anyway, regardless of how much television I've watched. Like my grandma doesn't watch hardly any television, and her eyes are deteriorating. Her hearing's deteriorating, and she's never listened to a band that was heavy. She's never really done live music. You know, she's never been close to a subwoofer where she felt like it was going to stop her heart. So what the fuck do I care about putting earbuds or my headphones on a little bit louder than you think I should have them? Like, Entropy doesn't care for our bullshit. So, as long as you're not hurting other people, and as long as you don't feel like you're hurting yourself, I think you should be fine. You know? We're so preoccupied with bullshit all the time. All this stuff you can't eat when you're pregnant. But you can eat it when you're not growing another human being, so what does that say about the food? And then 10 years later, those studies show that half the shit they told you not to eat were staple diets of what you should have been eating, and this was giving people cancer. Like, you can't do anything. I'm telling you now, in 100 years, cancer will be the key to evolving. Like, straight up. It wasn't a curse or a plague, we just didn't... Our bodies didn't know how to filter it correctly, and thus it killed us off a bit. Like, you just never know. You really don't. And how many stories have you heard of people dropping dead that were 17 years old, 22 years old or whatever, barely lived, you know, everything going right for them. The sun shone every time they smiled, and boom, killed by something stupid. Drunk driver, you know, coconut fell out of a tree. Doesn't even have to be old, you know, people just die. So, you gotta have that fun, guys. You gotta watch Schindler's List, because you never know. If you say no, you might die the next day and never have seen Schindler's List. That can affect your life, and you might care. You might not. It is interesting though, isn't it, what we're in the mood to do and what we're not in the mood to do. Like, it makes me wonder, do serial killers get in a mood where they don't want to kill? You know? I'm a bit lazy today. I want to wear sweatpants and stay inside instead of periodically stalking women in my van and then chucking them in the back of it and getting my murder on. There are times when I'm not in the mood to do a recording such as this, and you just kind of get on with it, and a lot of the times you almost persuade yourself that you want to do it. It starts off a bit rough, a bit tentative, and then by the middle of it you're like, yeah, got a good flow going, I'm having fun, I just needed to take that first step. Because that first step is a doozy, apparently. This guy's talking a lot. I have no idea what he's saying, but he seems to have got it all figured out. Sugar bombs? But I was in the urinal today, which is always a topic I want to bring up on a video to the public. Don't worry guys, it's not going anywhere too lewd. It was the male toilets in a pub, which is English for bar. Oh, he didn't die, shit. And I went to the trough, or the wall-lined urinal, because my bladder is rather crappy when I've been drinking. One of the only reasons I can metabolize alcohol as well as I do is because half of it comes out in the other end. Because once that seal gets broken, the dam really does just do what it wants. So I go to this toilet in a pub called the White Bear, of all places. And I notice there are these pictures facing me when I'm stood there taking a piss. Once again, wonderful topic to be talking about, but here we go. And there's 3 photos, all similarly themed, featuring 3 different girls, 3 different women. I say girls like there's more than one. There was a single woman on each of these pictures. The first one looked like a young Celine Dion before she turned into a big douche and got famous and pretentious. and she was propping her glasses onto her nose, looking down at the direction of your genitalia as if she was in front of you, and holding a camera like she needed to take a picture of this pillar of masculinity, which is some guy's shriveled, turtle-headed penis while he's taking a piss. Probably half-pissed himself. And I'm like, that's kind of weird. In some way, it's almost like they're trying to reinforce your masculinity, because all these women on these pictures are so impressed to see you, especially to see your genitals. And come on, guys, genitals are not the nicest thing to look at on a man. Looks a bit like a prehistoric snake of some kind. It's not a cute appendage. So there's this one looking, and I look at the one next to it, and it's another equally impressed, very complimentary lady who's tilting her glasses, looking down, mouth agape. Very beautiful girl, just like, oh my god, look at that, I assume, penis, which all girls say. This is facts. Girls just sit at home thinking about pretty penises. It's 100% true. There was a study, you missed it. And the last one was even better than those two. It was somebody doing the exact same thing as the last two, only she had a magnifying glass. So you have these two positive affirmations of masculinity and fertility and virility, and then you have the condescending mockery one. So there's the two good ones and there's a one bad one. And I'm just sitting there thinking, who the fuck picks this for the decor in a pub? This is something that is funny for like half a second, or when you recount it in a story such as this, and then afterwards you're just like, but what were they thinking, really? Like, why would you do that? Can I wear this with my armour? If I can, I'll be very happy. I don't think I can, you know. And I'm still wearing my shitty suit, which I need to take off. But you just... what goes through the mind of the person who's doing the interior design for that particular area? Oh, it'll be a laugh. Really? How old are you? Like, at what point does it become this massive laugh? Because I wasn't having the biggest laugh, and I'm one of the silliest human beings you'll ever meet. I truly am. Things amuse me. I'm the person who suddenly starts laughing on the bus and everybody looks at you like you're about to blow everyone up. Like you're some kind of nutter. That's who I am. Doesn't help when I'm wearing a backpack and I have the stereotypical Eastern European ponytail. But there you go. But who thinks that's a great idea? I don't know. Such a strange thing, and it makes me wonder what was in the girls' toilets. Because girls are... like, that is one part of a man's body that a lot of men are very insecure about. So I can understand, you know, zoning in on it for this kind of artistic wall gag thing. But girls are kind of self-conscious about all of them. Like, every single aspect of a girl is thought about, worried about, pondered, designed, decorated. Like, the whole lot is a massive thing. And there are, of course, some men just like that. I'm not trying to be sexist or anything or isolate stuff. Okay, so there's more shit that I don't know why anyone would read. Let's activate some units. You never know, it could be fun. I don't care what personality they are. But like, what would the female equivalent be? Because guys, most of them anyway, I don't think they would care too much if that gag was at their expense, unless they're really insecure or they've got a small dick. You know, the only people that are going to get pissed off at something like that are the people who are actually really, really insecure. But on a girl, I can imagine it being took the wrong way, or maybe getting even complained about just for being perhaps poor taste. Because it's so much more of a thing for girls, I feel. And that might be changing, but it's not something I have too much experience with. Like the condom machines. Like, girls must have an equivalent of that, and I'm sure my girlfriend's told me about all that kind of stuff, but I've kind of forgot, because that's what I do. I forget things. But is the sex toys in these toilets? Like, where does that go? Is there a line? Is there a dude in there selling sex toys? That'd be weird. Or a lady. A lady in the toilets. Because it used to be a big thing that back in the day. You didn't just walk into a toilet and get a contraceptive. You had to go and talk to a barber or a butcher. How dodgy is that? Talking to somebody who supplies you with meat so that you can get a sheath for your meat. Like, ridiculous. I wonder if there's anything in here. Where is this? Oh, it's just back here. There's tons of people in this building. They're very close as well.
Right there.
But that could be an interesting experiment for people. What do you think would be the equivalent of that kind of artwork in the girls' toilets? And do you think it'd cause offence? Do girls care? I like to think they care, but do they? They might not, you know, I'm not a girl. And then secondly, is there anything interesting sold in girls' toilets that you've heard of from your girlfriend or your friends or whatever? Because I'm almost certain my girlfriend's told me some really interesting, silly stuff, and I've just kind of forgot it, which would be really nice to have at this moment on this particular tangent, because it would complement it rather well. But alas, I can't. I'm failing to recount it. Wow, this guy's pretty tough. But he gives me meat, so I don't mind. Have you done anything yet? Oh, Dubstep Protectotron. He's going to have a really successful career in the music industry, that one. How the hell do we get higher? Oh, I would guess it's through here. But I was sat today in a pub with my girlfriend and her friends, which were all girls. So you get a really interesting, unique perspective on, I'm not going to say girl culture, because I don't think it is culture, I just think it's their preferences over male preferences. And of course, when I'm with my friends, the conversation is very different, for several different reasons. But I do find it really easy just to kind of be a fly on the wall. To just, it's so different to what me and my friends talk about. And it's interesting, and it has its own appeal and its own charm. But some of it it's just fascinating. Really fascinating. And they're all, you know, witty, clever, interesting girls. It always takes me by surprise, and like the progression of the conversation. And I generally just find myself listening to it and just inputting the odd inappropriate comment every so often to maybe get a laugh.
Unidentified intruder detected. Beginning search.
You're not talking about me, are you fellas? I'm talking about him. This guy's tough as nails. Let's put the sniper on. We're getting no bonus for hitting him, which is really sad. And there's way more of these dudes where he came from. But it was really funny watching the girls, in like less than 25 words, try to explain the context of a lot of the stories they were talking about to me. Because of course I'd not been there for all of the drama and all of the like the epiphanies and the revelations. So it was really interesting watching them, you know, do these gymnastics to try and fill me in on the plot so that I could grasp what they were talking about. And I'm sat there like, you don't have to explain it all to me. I get the gist. You know, I'm just going to kind of nod and smile, and all your guys will get it and I won't. And it's perfectly fine. But it was nice to see them, you know, going that extra step to try and explain it to the brute. What is going on in here? Why would you live in such a shithole? You don't even put it out in your meat bags. Got a bunch of meat bags hanging there doing note. Right waste of time. Got a pencil. Rip off. Interesting. So we're definitely hidden now, so we might actually get a bonus for killing these slobs. There's an elevator. He wants a fight. We're on caution, but I don't think he's noticed it was me yet. You just drive by the doorway. There we go. There was one aspect of it that was really interesting as well. One of the girls is the stereotypical, you know, person who brags about having sex and getting it on with guys and is rather promiscuous. But they're almost all kind of certain that it's bullshit. And even if it isn't bullshit, they're all kind of the age now where that's not as cool as it was. And even when it was cool, they're not really the crowd that was all that interested in that, you know, philandering kind of bohemian lifestyle, because it's not something that they ever really did too much of, and when they did, it was always kind of like funny rather than, you know, John Travolta in Saturday Night Fever. So it was interesting hearing them. Essentially, the thing that guys pride themselves on was being almost lamented here in an interesting way. Can I give you some more? What is she doing? You got Parkinson's, love.
Psst. Need something? Aww.
I don't know.
And here I
You getting excited?
Snuggle.
Have you become a frotteur? What? Just asking me if I want to snuggle. How dare you? You look like you're having a seizure. Have you been playing video games in an unlit room very close to the television for longer than half a second? This is why. Damn it! They've proven us wrong. I don't know, maybe you can get that. Maybe you can wear that. That could be good. I don't think I can wear that through the thing. There you go. There's tons of unique things there. Put them on. You'll be doing fine. It'd be nice if she put it on herself, like chose the components that you gave her. Maybe there's a feature to do that, but I don't think I've seen it. Okay. But I do find it really interesting being in that situation. You're bugging me out, bitch. What are you doing? Especially when alcohol's involved. Because you know, after a while, it's going to escalate. But I ended up coming away before it got too far. I just hope none of it is spent holding a girl's hair out of the toilet while she's being sick. Because nobody wants to do that, and we've all done it. I say we've all done it. I assume you've done it. Seems like a situation
There we
that
go.
I've seen a lot of people get into. And if you haven't, you're not missing out on anything. You'll probably have to do it at some point. To a relative or a loved one. Wow. Am I really making no noise? Because you aren't. I love that. You see that? You're like, he beat his chest. I wonder if that's to get the attention of the dog. He's throwing a grenade. I think. Oh, no, he's not. Look how tough he is, dude. Guy's a beast.
I never thought I'd be saying this, but I really need your help.
Oh, was she strung out? Is that why she was all vibrating?
What's the matter, Kate?
Everything is the matter. We're friends now, which means I can trust you with anything. I'm also hoping it means you've got me back.
Why is she not using the death
now
claw?
more than ever. I'm sick, and I don't think I can hide it from you anymore.
Okay. Does it have anything that will be sexually transmitted? Because if it is, I'm gonna cut you off like a diseased hand.
Okay, calm down and take a deep breath. If you're sick, I want to help you.
Okay.
Nice.
It's like this. Ever since I left home, I've been using Psycho. I don't know why I'm still taking that crap, but I can't stop. And believe me, I've tried. I can't
I've got
even
a
go
dick
day
toll.
without
Cue you
it
in a
anymore,
second.
and I'm fucking sick and tired of it. I've even been doing it behind your back. Sneaking doses when I think you aren't looking. Worst
wow.
of all, it's been making me sick. I've been spitting blood and I don't feel right inside. I need to get this shite out of me system before I wind up
blood.
dead.
How do we do this? Addictol? That beverage I make that cures addiction?
Tell me how we can clean you up.
Well, there might be a way, but it's not gonna be easy. There's supposed to be a vault somewhere out here. A place called Vault 95.
Come on
I heard
now.
that Vault Tech used it for some kind of social experiment. Stuck a bunch of junkies inside to poke and prod. Well, they supposedly had some special method to clean up those blokes in there. Some kind of a machine or something. If we could get inside, maybe that machine could help me.
That sounds very convoluted when I've got several ways of curing addiction. Okay, I suppose we'll do
No
that.
problem. We'll get you there.
I can't believe how kind you're being to me, even when I'm letting you down. Look, I don't want you to think I'm some kind of low-life junkie. A stupid girl who's harming herself for no good reason. From one friend to another. All I'm asking is for your help. When you're ready, take me out to Vault 95 and help me put an end to me pain.
95. Okay, that sounds good. It's another one of these companion quests. So maybe that's why she's not been doing a very good job.
What you need?
Maybe she doesn't have the weapon on. She does, she doesn't have it on her hand. She's even got it equipped, it's just not there. This game is weird. Knock, knock. But we just got another quest. And it's way more interesting than whatever the fuck we're doing here. That's a missile. Just on the table. But I think that's poor manners. Frag mine, silver lockets. Up we go. Fun new hill. All roof. We're looking for a golden grasshopper. My God. Because I fell in love with the girl at the rock show. She said what? But I told her that I didn't know. I don't want to take the bottle. I'm looking at this. Thank you. Oh, it's just that. I've been up here before, have I not? Is this where I planted a Mila some time ago? No idea. I wonder if I could have grabbed it when I first came up here. What the hell is this? I wonder if it sells for a lot. Gold, copper, and glass. Read food for the grasshopper. Do I have that? Was it inside? Oh, he said there was a note inside, didn't he? It must be that. Here we go. Shem Drown made it May 25th. Is that 1742? To my brethren and Pharaoh grasshoppers fell in ye years 1753, 1755, November 13, early in ye morning by a great earthquake by my old master above. Again, like to have met with utter ruin by fire by hoping timely from my public station, came of the broken bones and much bruised. Cured and fixed. Fuck is that, a haiku? Old master's son Thomas drowned June 28th. And though I will promise to discharge my office, yet I shall vary as ye wind. On the banks of the Charles, where forever rests Master Shem, there one can find a life's worth. Is this a riddle? Find Shem Drown's grave. Is the waypoint going to help me do that, or am I going to have to follow the coordinates? Oh no. Damn it. I might have read it, but I wasn't paying attention. I wish there was a memory feature on the MISC tab so you could immediately go back to what you were reading. So... Public station. So there's a public station somewhere. Near to an office, perhaps? Banks of the Charles. I don't know. Is that a place in Boston? Charles. There you go, Banks of the Charles. This must be the River Charles. That's the banks of the Charles. Is there a public station near this? Public library. This Park Street station. You think it's going to be near there? Near the amphitheatre? CIT ruins. Backstreet Apparel. Let's walk to this. I don't know where this is.